All right, so I wanted to show you how to make a project for Visual Studios 2022. You can either use the start menu on, this is on Windows, of course. Use the start menu and grab Visual Studios 2022. Since we just installed it, it should be near the recently added list, but if it's not, we can scroll down to V for Visual Studios, go with 2022, or you could use the search box and type it. And go Visual Studio 2022. And so this is what we're going to want to do. You're going to want to create a new project. And a good idea is to change this to say this all languages, say C++, because that's the language we're going to be using. And we want to create a blank project. Where is it? All right. It used to be at the top. Let's just say console for now. There we go. I set this to console. We want to do an empty project. So once we've got C++ set in the languages and we have console set for platform or the project type, we're going to choose empty project. Okay, so a couple things to know here. You're going to want to, what you're naming here is what's going to go with things. But location as to where it saves it. Here it says repos. I don't like that. I'm going to make a new location. I'm going to put it on my desktop. So I'm going to say desktop and I'll make a new folder so that I know where to find everything. CSCI lecture or labs. Or let's just go. Yeah, labs. The one I have up here is for stuff I did when I was practicing, but let's make one for you guys. So I've got it there. I'll make it there. We'll select that folder. Now, the first one I'm going to do actually one of the projects we've been given, Lab 1B guessing game. I'm not going to do the whole thing for you, but I'm going to follow the instructions and go with it. So it says, call Lab 1B my name. So I'm going to call this Lab 1B Jones David. I'm going to do last name first. It makes it easier for the instructor to find where everything is. We're going to click create. And it starts off here. And it's still loading. Let's see what's in the source files. Nothing. So the first thing we want to do is create a source file. This is where all of our work's going to go. I'm right clicking right now. I'm going to right click on source file and I'm going to say add new item. So source files, add new item. And here, this is the CPP that I'm asking for later. I'm going to name it the same thing as my file. So lab 1B-Jones David. I'm going to say add. And it's going to generate this window for you. It's blank. It's empty. This is a blank field. But let's go back over and copy the code like it says. Copy and paste the guess number game into the IDE and compile it. So let's show you how that works. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to highlight it all. I'll right click it and say copy. And I'll come back over to my Visual Studios and Control V. Can I right click and paste? I can. Control V, right click and paste. All right, so hopefully you're with me so far. Now, what we're going to do you can get it to run. It's always a good idea to save it as you're going along. You can save here. This little green arrow actually does a lot of things. It allows us to run the program and it compiles the program for us. So let's take a look at what happens when we do that. It runs the program in a new window. So it says guess a number between 1 and 1,000. Let's go 649. That sounds good. That's too high, it says. My little yellow thing is from my setup on Windows. That's distracting, but okay, let's go 333. That's too low. 450. Too low. 525. Too low. 590. Oh, wow, I was close with the 649. 620. Holy cow, how close was I? 635. Oh, wow, 635. So I was pretty close with the 649. It asked me if I want to play it again, so sure, why not? 500. 250. It says it's too high. I'll try lower. Too low still. Let's go 420 or 430. 470. 485. 477. And we found it. So I played it a couple times. I'll say N for no. And this is what it'll show when you're done. Press any key to close the window. And if I hit close, it closes it. All right, so let's go and see where this file was saved. I'm going to close out of this. And we'll go explore my desktop. And we called it CSCI Labs. And my project's here. So what I would need to submit, let's go find that CPP file that it says to submit. I'm going to go in here. This says SLN. That stands for solution. That's not what I want. So let's see if we can find out where it is. There it is. So I went into the first folder I went in, and then since I named the source codes the same thing as the file name, it's stored there and I can find it here. Now you can actually type this type of stuff up in like a notepad or something like that. And I'll open it with Notepad in so you can see. This is how it was originally taught. You were supposed to do stuff like this and compile it this way, or code it up this way and then put it in a compiler. That's not realistic in today's world. You're not going to do that. So let's just go with what we know. But that's the code we'll need. So if I want to come back over to the teacher's thing, I can do start assignment. And I'll do upload file. Choose file. And then I got to go find what I just did. So I put it on desktop. It was in CSCI Labs, Lab 1B Jones. Right here was that file right there. Got the right one. It says named appropriately, CPP, open. And then I'll click submit assignment. I'm not going to do that because I don't want it to clutter up Canvas when I don't need to. But that's what you're looking at. When you want to go back and look at those projects again, if you want to look at old material, I added Visual Studios 2022 to my taskbar. But if you haven't, you might be able to do pin to start or pin to taskbar. I did pin to taskbar so that you can have it. Let's go take a look at it. So I can either find it right here, open it up if I want to work on it again, or alternatively, I'll close that and show you finding it. We will do Visual Studios, opening up a project that we had before. I'm going to open a project or solution. And I'll go and find where I had it. Desktop. And we're looking for a solution. So I'm going to open the one that says solution here. And it's going to load up everything in it. And it's showing me Lab 1B, Jones, David, CPP, and it's the files right here. Okay. If you like this dark background, I believe it was in Windows. Let's see, where is help? Theme. Tools, theme, get more theme. Okay, tools. You like the black background with the white text, it's easier on your eyes. You go to tools, theme, and I said dark, but you can do different options. I think it's easier on the eyes, especially if you're coding a lot. And that's it. All right, peace. I'll see you guys soon. Stop recording.